Hey guys, and welcome back to Cornerstone Youth Markham's YouTube channel. My name is Sarah, and I'm so excited to continue along with our series called Cancel, where we're learning about the groups of people that we might want to cancel, but who God calls us to love instead. So these past 2 weeks, we've learned that God wants us to love people who aren't like us, and that He wants us to love people who are in need. So this week, we're going to learn about a new group of people that God calls us to love. But first, a fun experiment. Hello everyone, we are in my car right now and I'm about to take the road trip of a lifetime. So, I'm not going to tell you what exactly the challenge is, but I'm going to go to 3 drive-thru restaurants and I'm going to ask them for something a little special. And you know, they always say the grass is greener on the other side. So today I want to find out what that grass really looks and tastes like. Don't get it? You will. Here we go. We are currently at Wendy's. Can I get whatever the person in front of me ordered, please?
Okay. What is the order?
I don't know. Whatever they ordered, can I just have that?
Okay, 2 medium strawberry lemonade?
Sure.
Okay. That's your first?
No, it's for a video. It's like a challenge. Thank you. So big. Now we're currently in line for Tim Hortons, but they ordered like extra large strawberry lemonades. We've never had these before. Nevertheless, an XL of this, but okay. Can I order whatever the person in front of me ordered, please?
Okay, large iced coffee, I prefer the medium peppermint tea, Boston cream, and the honey cooler.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys just heard, but this person in front of us ordered 3 drinks and I think 2 different donuts. So we're gonna have 5 drinks now. What a fun day. Thanks. We are now at McDonald's. Hopefully we get like more food, you know, not just drinks, hopefully. Ooh, it looks like it might be a family. Hopefully we'll get food. Can I get the order of whatever the person in front of me just ordered, please?
Sure.
I wonder if the people who are in front of us, if they're alerted to the fact that
the person
we're
just ordered
cop,
whatever.
yeah. And then what do they think about it? Sweet. Okay guys, we are back from our little road trip, and as you can see, I've got the goods in front of me. So let's talk about what we ended up getting. So we first went to Wendy's and I expected that we'd have, you know, like chicken, because Wendy's, of course. But no, the people in front of us ordered 2 strawberry lemonades in the biggest size possible. So from Tim Hortons, we got a peppermint tea, as you can see over here, and then an iced coffee. And they also ordered donuts. I think this is a Boston cream donut, not too sure, but it's got some chocolate on top of it, an apple fritter donut, a cruller. Okay, so that was Tim Hortons, pretty good, pretty good. But McDonald's was where we found the most stuff. So again, we just said, can we just get whatever the car in front of us is ordering? And they got this strawberry smoothie. So they got the McChicken, but they got it with extra chicken sauce and no shredded lettuce. They also got 10 chicken McNuggets. And then they got some good old McDonald's fries. So this is a lot of food. I definitely cannot eat this all by myself, so I'm gonna share this with my family, so that's exciting. Maybe you've never done this before, but I think you can relate to the feeling of wanting or wishing for something someone else has. That feeling is envy, and when envy turns into frustration, anger, self-pity, or hatred, it can prevent us from loving others. Here's our amazing grade 11 to 12 boys group leader, Clark, to share a story about a time where envy kept him from loving someone.
Whew. All out of breath there. Getting old. Anyways, as most of you know, I'm pretty passionate about basketball. But at times, I've gotten myself or allowed myself to get a little too into it. Let me tell you guys a story about a time I was in high school. That year, we got a brand new player on the team. And he was about, I'd say 5'11", maybe 6 feet tall. And up to that point, I had never played with a player that tall. we were all pretty excited to have a player of that ability on our team. And we started out winning a lot of games. I would pass it into him. He had a lot of good moves down there and was scoring baskets in bunches. I mean, it looked a lot like this. And of course, there were a lot of high fives and just a lot of general excitement with what the team probably would be able to do that year. However, after a few games, I began to feel like he was getting all of the credit for our wins. And being only 5'0", being only 100 pounds and nothing, I began to get a little jealous that he was tall, he had so much athletic ability, and I began to conspire to limit his ability. See, on the team, I played the position of the point guard, and our star player played the position at center. So basically what that meant was that he played close to the basket where you could get higher percentage shots. My responsibility as the point guard is to take the ball up the court and organize our team to try and make sure that we were getting into the plays that we wanted to make and get the best shot that we could to score. So because the ball's in my hands most of the time, I got to decide a lot of times what type of plays we were going to run and who would probably be the one to take the shot. And so because I was envious of the taller player on our team who was getting a lot of baskets, I began to pass the ball less and less in his direction. Of course, he would say a couple of things and say, hey, I was open. Of course, I knew he was open. I could see that. But I would make excuses. I would say, no, the defenders are waiting for me to pass it to you. They're ready to steal the ball as soon as I do it. That's why I went the other way. And because I chose to play the game that way and not pass it to him, and really, to be honest with you, try to get my shot more often than not, things started to look more like this. You see, I allowed my jealousy and my enviousness of the other players' talent and physical ability to get in the way of our overall team success. Moreover, I lost track of what my responsibility was, and that was to make my teammates better. My job as the point guard is to get us in the best position for overall success and to see them do well. It's disappointing because by the end of the season, we didn't have overall team success when things started out so well. And in the end, the team broke up after that year. I never got to play with him again. Anyways, we live and learn.
Here's what the Bible has to say about envy. In 1 Samuel 18, we read the story about how envy slowly destroyed a man named King Saul. Saul was the king of Israel, but he had a problem. Because he had disobeyed God, God rejected him, and God chose a young shepherd boy named David to be the next king of Israel. So Saul knew a new king was coming, but he didn't know who. When Saul first met David, he was impressed. David played music for him, and he even defeated Goliath, whom you guys know as the huge Philistine warrior, and he defeated him with only a small slingshot and God's help. David became best friends with King Saul's son Jonathan, and he even went on to lead tons of missions for Saul and gained many victories. But then Saul let envy creep in. He saw strength and potential in David, and he didn't like that other people could see it too. So while David was being recognized and celebrated, King Saul's envy began to grow. We're going to read from 1 Samuel 18 verses 6 to 11. When the men were returning home after David had killed the Philistine, the women came out from all the towns of Israel to meet King Saul with singing and dancing, with joyful songs and with timbrels and lyres. As they danced, they sang, "Saul has slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands." Saul was very angry. This refrain displeased him greatly. "They have credited David with tens of thousands," he thought, "but me with only thousands. What more can he get but the kingdom?" And from that time on, Saul kept a close eye on David. The next day, an evil spirit from God came forcefully on Saul. He was prophesying in his house while David was playing the lyre, as he usually did. Saul had a spear in his hand, and he hurled it, saying to himself, "I'll pin David to the wall." But David eluded him twice. That took a wild turn, didn't it? Saul's envy and jealousy was so great that he decided to cancel David by trying to kill him with a spear. Have you ever felt envious, jealous, or angry with someone? I hope that you've never been tempted to try to cancel someone with a spear, but in situations where we feel the jealousy try to overwhelm us, what should we do? Jesus tells us in Matthew 22 verses 36 to 39 that the first most important command is to love God with all our hearts, souls, and minds. And the second most important command is to love our neighbors as ourselves. So that's 2 steps. First, we need to stop comparing ourselves to other people. We need to find our contentment, our fulfillment, and our peace in the good God who created us. You can find out more about that in our identity series called True Story. But we must ask Jesus to change our hearts. Second, we need to love everyone, even the people that we envy. Instead of envying people who have something that we want, let's celebrate them. Instead of calling out people that we're jealous of, let's call out each other's greatness. And instead of keeping all the good things to ourselves, let's share them with others around us. By first finding our contentment, our satisfaction, and our joy in God, we will then have God's power through Jesus to love the people that we envy. Okay guys, that wraps up this week's video. We are so happy to have you here. Hello if you're from our Cornerstone family, and a big hello if you're from our global family. We are so glad you're on this journey with us to find out how to love the people that we might want to cancel. And a huge thank you to Clark for sharing his story with us. We are so grateful to have you as our grade 11 and 12 boys leader. And if you want to share your story of envy with us, you can DM us on our Instagram at Cornerstone Youth Markham. We're super easy to find and we're there to talk with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. And we'll see you in the next one. Be blessed, guys. Bye!